I woke up paralyzed in the dark, and something was standing in my doorway, watching me. Today's sleep paralysis stories remind us just how fragile and terrifying the line is between nightmare and reality. The first time I experienced sleep paralysis, I didn't even know what it was. At the time, I was living alone in a small apartment. The rent was cheap, low ceilings, thin walls, one small bedroom at the end of a narrow hallway. Winter had just started, and by 6 p.m, it was already dark outside. The only window in my bedroom faced another house, so even during the day, the room felt dim and closed in. That night, I went to bed exhausted. I'd been working late shifts and barely sleeping, and I remember collapsing onto my bed. I fell asleep on my back, something I usually avoid, but I didn't think much of it at the time. I don't know how long I'd been asleep when I woke up. My eyes were open, staring straight at the far wall of my bedroom. Everything looked normal at first. The faint glow of the streetlight filtering through the blinds, the shadow of my dresser in the corner, the quiet hum of the heater kicking on and off. Then I tried to move. Nothing happened. I tried again, harder this time. I tried to lift my arm, turn my head, even wiggle my fingers. My body wouldn't respond. That's when panic started to creep in. I realized I couldn't even take a deep breath. My chest felt tight, like something heavy was pressing down on it. I tried to call out, but my mouth wouldn't open. The only thing I could do was breathe shallow, uneven breaths and stare straight ahead. That's when I noticed the bedroom door. It was open. I never sleep with my door open. Ever. It was an old habit from growing up. Something about dark hallways always unsettled me. But there it was. Open just enough to see into the hallway. At first I thought my eyes were playing tricks on me. The hallway was dark, and my vision felt strange, like I was looking through water. Then I saw it. A shape, standing in the doorway. It was tall and completely black, darker than the surrounding shadows. It didn't have features, no face, no eyes, just the unmistakable outline of a person standing perfectly still. I wanted to scream. I wanted to move, but I couldn't do either. The figure didn't move closer. It didn't sway or shift its weight. It just stood there, blocking the doorway, like it had always been there. And I was only just now noticing it. The longer I stared, the more certain I became of one thing. It knew I was awake. There was no sound, no footsteps, no breathing. Just the feeling of being watched so intensely that my skin prickled. I tried to pray in my head, but even my thoughts felt slow and tangled. Every second stretched out, unbearable and quiet. Finally, after what felt like several minutes, I felt something change. My fingers twitched, just slightly. That tiny movement broke whatever grip was holding me. I sucked in a deep breath, rolled onto my side, and bolted upright in bed. The doorway was empty. For weeks after that, I slept with a lamp on and the door locked. I was staying at my parents' house, sleeping in my old childhood bedroom. It was a familiar place. Same bed, same dresser, same pictures on the wall I'd never bothered to take down. That familiarity is what made the experience so unsettling. I went to bed late that night after scrolling on my phone. I remember rolling onto my back to sleep. I woke up to the sensation of weight. Not pain, pressure. It felt like someone had placed both hands on my chest and was slowly leaning down. My lungs could still pull in air, but only shallow breaths. Every inhale felt restricted, like my chest couldn't expand fully. I tried to move, nothing. I tried to turn my head, nothing. I recognized the signs immediately. I told myself to stay calm. I knew panicking would only make it worse. I focused on breathing slowly, counting in my head, waiting for my body to wake up. That's when the pressure increased. It wasn't sudden, it was gradual, deliberate. The mattress dipped slightly near my ribs. Something was on the bed. I couldn't see it yet. My eyes were locked on the ceiling, but my peripheral vision picked up movement. An unnatural shift in the shadows near my torso. The weight settled fully. It felt like someone sitting on my chest, not crushing me, but anchoring me there. My heart started racing. I could hear my pulse pounding in my ears, loud enough that it felt like it should wake someone in the house. I tried to scream for my mom. I tried to force my mouth open. No sound came out. The pressure wasn't just physical anymore. It felt intentional. Like whatever was there knew exactly how much weight to use. Then I felt it lean closer. My vision blurred at the edges, and the air above me felt crowded, heavy, warm in a way that made my skin crawl. I couldn't see a face, but I knew it was hovering inches above mine. I tried to shut my eyes. I couldn't. The shadows above me thickened, forming something vaguely human in shape. A head, shoulders, something where a face should be, but completely wrong. Too close, too undefined, like my brain couldn't decide what it was looking at. I focused on one thought: move your fingers. I pushed every ounce of effort into my right hand. Nothing, not even a twitch. The thing shifted its weight slightly, and the pressure spiked. My breath hitched, and for a terrifying second, I thought it was going to completely cut off my air. That's when I felt something brush my face. Not a hand, not skin, more like breath. A slow exhale right near my cheek. I don't know why that was the breaking point. Something in me snapped. I forced my toes to move, just a fraction of an inch. That tiny movement rippled upward, like breaking through thick ice. Suddenly, I gasped. My arms flew up, and I rolled onto my side. The weight vanished instantly. I sat up in bed, drenched in sweat, my heart hammering. There was nothing there. The room looked exactly the same as it always had. Moonlight through the window, quiet hallway beyond the door. No signs that anything had happened. I didn't go back to sleep. The next morning, I mentioned it to my mom. She told me she used to have similar experiences when she was younger. She called it the old hag. Even now, years later, I still can't forget that feeling. Because no matter how many times I tell myself it was just sleep paralysis, I've never been able to shake the feeling that something was actually sitting there. I'd been dealing with sleep paralysis on and off for years, usually when I was stressed or sleeping somewhere unfamiliar. By the time this happened, I thought I knew what to expect. I was wrong. This happened while I was traveling for work. I was staying at a hotel for a company event. The place was nice, clean, the kind of room that feels comfortable but unfamiliar at the same time. I remember feeling excited about the event the next day. That night, I drifted off normally. I remember waking up suddenly, staring straight at the ceiling. The faint glow from the digital clock cast a dull light across the room. My eyes opened easily, but my body didn't respond. My arms felt pinned to my sides. My legs felt like they were sinking into the mattress. I sighed internally, more irritated than afraid. I'd been through this before. I focused on my breathing, slow and steady, waiting for it to pass like it usually did. That's when I heard it. A sound. Soft, close, and unmistakably human. Breathing. Not my own. It came from my left side, near the edge of the bed. Slow. Controlled. Like someone standing still and trying not to be noticed. I strained my eyes to look in that direction. I couldn't turn my head. The breathing grew louder, closer to my ear. Then a voice whispered. Not a word, just a sound. A low murmur, like someone testing whether I was awake. My heart began to race. I tried to swallow, but my throat wouldn't move. The whisper came again, longer this time, stretching into something that almost sounded like speech, but just out of reach of understanding. I told myself it was my mind misfiring, auditory hallucination, stress, sleep. Then it said my name, clear, careful, right against my ear, the way someone says your name when they're standing too close. Every muscle in my body screamed to move. My breathing turned shallow, panicked, as I tried to force my arm to lift, my head to turn, anything. The voice whispered again, closer now. I know you're awake. I wanted to scream that I wasn't, that I couldn't move, that I didn't want this. Instead, all I could do was listen. The voice began to circle the bed. I could hear it moving, not footsteps, but the sound of breath shifting position, whispering from the different angles, near my feet, near the headboard, above me. Then it stopped, directly over my face. The whisper dropped to a near breath. Don't fight it. Something pressed down on my stomach, not heavy, but deliberate, like a hand resting there, reminding me it was in control. My vision tunneled, black, creeping in from the edges. I thought I was going to pass out. Then suddenly, the pressure lifted instantly. The whisper cut off mid-breath. I gasped, jerking upright in bed, drenched in sweat. The room was silent, empty. The hum filled my ears like white noise. I turned on every light and didn't sleep the rest of the night. That was the last time it happened. And if you've had a true scary experience, whether it was a creepy stranger, an unsettling coincidence, or something truly paranormal, I want to hear it. Send your story to the email on your screen and check the description box for details. Your experience may be featured in a future video. Let's share the stories that haunt us. See you in the next video.